Hello, and welcome back to Overly Conversating, a show where me and MC himself, we shoot the shit, talk about all things, whatever y'all want us to talk about. I think this week we're off the cuff. Of course, I'm J5 here with MC. What's going on, MC?
What's happening, boy? Holiday weekend.
Yeah. What's your plans? This your first Memorial Day in California, away from home. You know, you're always welcome to come over. I know you won't, but you're always welcome to come over.
I actually got a big day ahead. A little bit nervous about this big day ahead on Memorial Day. I don't think I've had a more important Memorial Day in a solid amount of time.
What is it? What's the day?
I'm meeting new family on Monday.
What, you got adopted? Or what do you mean?
Somebody came out here in Los Angeles and picked me up to the shelters the other day. No, I'm meeting new family on Monday.
You mean you're meeting your girlfriend's family?
Yes.
Okay. So you're she doesn't live out here, right? Or her family's not from here, right? They're from up north or south, right? South, right?
South. Yes. Yeah. Yes. So we're going south for the first time. Well, I'm going south for the first time, obviously.
Make sure
it's not something I've had to do in a while.
Get some authentic tacos out there, because San Diego is like so close to the border. You're basically there. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you get some. I know that she knows some tacos. Make sure that you mention that either before you guys do what you gotta do or after you guys leave. Just take them back with you.
I'm excited about the view. Like I don't think we've the furthest down Los Angeles that I've been. I can't remember. Shout out to Alex. He took me to a car show.
Probably
it wasn't Malibu. It was further. Damn, I can't remember. I'm about to take a look. But he took us to a car show out there. It's like an hour away from Los Angeles. I can't remember where it was, but you know, the view going down to San Diego, I think, is going to be something that's really exciting. So, but other than that, bag of nerves right now.
Well, here's the thing: when you're meeting family, just be yourself. I think just tell the truth. I mean, you and your girlfriend, you guys met pretty normally. Here's the thing, like me and my wife, we didn't tell like the real story of how we met for years until maybe like a year ago. Like, so just tell the truth. Don't tell the truth after you get married and people think that y'all met in a different way. Tell the truth immediately. Like, don't lie like we did.
No, I think it's an exciting. I think the first meeting was an exciting time. I think for both of us. So being able to tell that, I don't know if I want to really re-rehearse my stories. I wanted to, like, I'm pretty good at being impromptu and freestyling, but I don't want to be like, well, it was a cold.
Here's the thing.
Night. It was a cold Saturday night.
Here's the thing. Here's my advice to you. Be short and to the point. Keep it simple, because you like to just ramble. You like to talk.
You know for a fact that's not me in anything.
What, to keep it short? I know.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, you should keep it short. You could be like, because you like to do like, well, actually, in lieu of, or actually, as I got to Los Angeles, then I realized I was in a.
That's how I convert. I'm a storyteller.
It's actually really a good feeling, and I'm really in a good space to do these things because I am.
Is that my voice?
Yes. That's how you talk. When you're politician Cameron, ask anybody listening to this show. They will say it in the comments when you're. It is a great feeling to be here. It's a good feel. I think when I drove here and saw the views, it was
what
great.
Do people want from me?
That's
what I want to know. What do people want from me? I am naturally a storyteller. I don't know if I get into an NPR voice.
You're doing it right now.
Voice?
If you're looking at this on video, I did Mark's hand motions on it. This actually, when I was driving to Los Angeles, I drove.
I'm not Booker T. I don't shake my hand like this. I'm telling this.
I think you just need to keep it simple, keep it straight. Don't try and, you know what I mean. Don't just be like, yo, yeah, I met Sade. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, fuck it. That's her name.
Doesn't matter. That's her name. Exactly. It's been more than documented already.
I met her through a friend. Like, just tell the truth. Tell the truth, but keep it short. Keep it, because they gotta ask questions. And if you blow your load, just fucking saying everything in the first moment, then they won't have anything to ask you.
I think that's hard. I don't know what is.
Can you just take friend advice? Here's the thing, Mark. When have I ever steered you wrong? Ever in life?
I don't think it's a necessary.
And yes or no. Yes or no. When have I ever
That is exactly what I'm talking about. Right
when have I ever I did this test to you earlier this week. When have I ever steered you wrong? Have I ever steered you wrong?
I am not a yes or no nigga.
You have to be.
Yes or no is a hard question.
No, it's not.
Because there's context in everything.
There's no context. I don't need context. I'm just asking you yes or no. Have I ever steered you wrong?
Have you ever steered me wrong?
Have I ever steered you wrong? Other than that time where you let me do remote play on Crash Bandicoot and you asked me to beat a level and I immediately killed you in the first second.
And you wasted my lives? What a dick.
Other than that time, when have I ever steered you wrong? Did you have to think about it?
The time in Overcooked when you told me get the lettuce and the tomatoes chopped.
That wasn't me steering you wrong. That was you steering you wrong. Mark screwed
Mark.
Was
Cyrus?
That
was Cyrus bet.
Mark screwed Mark that night.
No, I didn't.
You did. I got a lot of things. You know what? This is overly conversating is where I get my grievances off on you. I think that's what this is going to be. There's another thing I need to get off my chest about you. But before we get to that, good luck. I think you're going to do great. You're a great dude. Just keep it simple. I think they're going to love you because you're a lovable guy. Everyone loves you. So don't worry about that.
Thanks. I appreciate that. It's hard to get. I haven't had to do this in a solid amount of years. I'm not going to say the amount of years. It's a good amount of years, but I haven't had to.
Good amount. I was trying to, when I was doing your impression, I was like, what is it? The feeling. You do feeling and good amount. That's a good amount of good feelings when I walked back to the car and I realized that I left my sandals in the back. It was a good feeling walking with no shoes on. That's how you
do.
Talk.
I need new isms?
I think you need new isms. I think you need no isms. I think you need to drop all the
Everybody's
isms.
got an ism.
I don't have an ism. I don't have an ism.
You have isms.
What are my isms?
Your isms. What would your isms be?
I think the number one ism would be, is it? Is it? Would be my number one ism. But other than that, I have no ism.
That sets niggas off, though. That sets niggas off.
What the is it?
That's exactly what it is. The is it on a bad day? It's like getting your keys caught in the door or the lanyard caught. You get it on a bad day, you throw in something.
Yeah, mine would be, is it or yeah? Is it or yeah? Okay.
We had to ask a lot of those. We had to ask a lot of those in chat for the past month.
I haven't asked nothing. I think the aftermath of this whole drama beef, we talked about it on the show. I'm just over it. I don't want to see the fucking, what is it? Spanish version of that song. I don't want to see no version of that song because it's.
You're not hitting the fret again. The EDM version of Not Like Us.
We're gonna look back on this year, like I said on the show. We're gonna look back on this year and really shake our heads because this ain't as lit as people think it is.
It's fun, man. I've learned to laugh a lot more in the past. Month. Isn't it funny?
I'm not.
I think it's a lot more funny than people. I feel like there's a lot of, and it's hard to say, but there's a lot of Jay-Z fans that are just like really happy to now experience the opposite of 2001. I think there's a lot of big Michael Jackson fans that are very happy to experience the opposite of the 90s and the 2000s with somebody else. Because it's hard to defend your favorite.
Michael Jackson? What do you mean?
Oh, just shaky allegations, bad things in public.
Why would they be happy about? Why would they be happy about something? But Michael Jackson legitimately went to court over this stuff. Like this, these are not even half.
Yeah,
what Michael Jackson went through.
No, it doesn't matter online.
Yeah, this is the issue. Is that you can say like this is nothing like that, and there has been no proof, but it doesn't matter, right?
Say Obiho.
I'm not saying none of that shit. Anyway, my other grievance with you.
How did this become therapy? How did this become therapy with me?
It's not even therapy with you.
Well, actually, is there? Do you feel like obviously you've been a big proponent of therapy? Does therapy ever feel like grievances?
I think therapy is always. I think that's people's thought of what it is.
Fear of it.
Yeah, fear, especially within like Black people. I feel like here's my thing about it with it. I feel like there's a contingent of Black people that use like therapy in a really good, positive, progressive way. there's another contingent of them to use it to cover up the bullshit that they do. And like, we're going to talk about the Diddy and all that stuff on BlkPrint, but like, that's one example. It's just like, I went to therapy. I was fucked up. Like, no, like, you don't need therapy. You need jail. Like, you like that's not a therapeutic type thing that you need to get over. You know what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? Like, people use it in an evil way. I don't want
as a weapon.
Yeah, I don't ever want to use therapy in an evil way. So like, no, I don't think it's grievances. I went to therapy the other day, and you know, I've been looking for a job and everything, and you know, my therapist asked, like, does it make you upset, like, that your wife has a job right now and you're you know, working towards it, or you're having issues with it? And I'm like, no, like there's always a time in, like, you know, the life of like men and women and stuff like that where we are always ahead, right? So at one point, I've always been kind of like up here. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a problem being down, you know, other than my own pride. But as compared to her, like, I don't have a problem with her making more than me. I don't have a problem with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's great. If she lit, I'm lit. You know what I mean? Like, I can't hate on that. So like, when that's the grievance part of it to me. It's like, no, I'm here to heal, not complain. I want to figure out why I feel like this, or I want to figure out why this happens, or get to the root of what's going on. That's why I think people use it in like really different ways that is like kind of unhealthy at times, you know?
And as we were talking about the post-mortem of this battle, I think that was one of the more things online that kind of bothered me. The people that were like, well, you know, a person that goes to therapy and admits that they have faults and that they're hypocrites in some cases, you kind of can't bring it back up to them when somebody else is pointing out bad ideas or hypocrisies in certain things. And I'm like, I don't think that necessarily buys you the ability to just say whatever you want and do whatever you want because you admitted that you have faults in your mindset and your thinking, and you went to therapy, you've talked about it, and you've healed it. Like, I don't think that grants you the ability to finger point in some cases.
That's what they say?
What do you mean?
They say that they feel like you can't finger point if you've talked about it. That doesn't absolve you from any of it. That doesn't absolve you.
Well, the thing online was, how can Drake talk about certain things about Kendrick Lamar when he's already talked about this in his own healing, therapy and things of that nature? And I'm like, I don't think that necessarily grants you the ability to do anything that you want, say anything that you want.
That's too
just because you went to therapy.
That's twofold. I think that one of it is internet, you know, where I think ultimately, like I said on the BlkPrint, there was no way that like any of that was going to go the other way anyway. You know, like none of that was going to ever, unless you get video proof. I honestly feel like if it's video proof of any of that stuff, which is terrible that we're even talking about it in this sense, because I don't want to see it. I don't want that to be.
Yeah, I hope that never comes out.
Yeah,
if it does exist, I hope it never comes out.
Like, but you know, just in the hypothetical, I feel like if it did come out, they would think it was UFO footage. They think it was AI. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think people would actually take that type of stuff serious. Just like a lot of people don't take like abuse seriously. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like in a sense, it's like, well, if that allegation is serious, then we all should treat this other allegation seriously too. But that's not what happened. You know what I mean? So that's which is indicative of a larger conversation. But I think in terms of like therapy, I think what I've learned is that like, you know, bad things or things that are out of character, they still happened. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean that like because it's brought up that it didn't, you know? That doesn't mean that you don't have to address it, because I think ultimately you look at like Joe Budden or something. Like, he left that long ass paragraph about Tahiri, right? And everyone was just like, told you she was a liar and a scammer and she beat up Votto. And I'm like, that's not even, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the conversation at hand. The conversation at hand should have been Joe saying, I did not do these things, but he didn't say though. He didn't say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like people try to absolve themselves by calling people liars. People try to absolve themselves by saying, well, you're a pedophile with no proof. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's we're on a slippery slope here when it comes to mental health, you know? And that's why I didn't like the battle so much, is because we're bringing up stigmatized things, trafficking and abuse and things like that I just don't think people have the maturity to talk about, or not many people have the maturity to talk about. The people that I've seen have the maturity to talk about it and say like, hey, both of these guys are like not cool for saying any of those things. They get, you know what I mean? They get, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, this ain't hip hop. Questlove, shut the fuck up, nigga. You know what I mean? Like they said Questlove shouldn't say nothing because he played Takeover at an MTV Unplugged show, and I was like, yes, the same Takeover that Jay-Z said that Nas was wringing Carmen's throat, right? You know what I mean? Like this that's the same Takeover. Like, is this the same thing that you guys are talking about? It's not. It's apples and oranges. You know what I mean? Like,
so that's another favorite, man. Jay Lost in 7, another internet favorite.
I don't want to get into this. I'm over it. Here's my other grievance. I was there. It wasn't 4 songs, okay, in 24 hours. You were there, Mark. You know the truth, and
I've seen forums, numerous forums.
That's all I got to say. I was there, and I'll tell you what, that's not what happened. So Sunday we went to go visit our friend Drew, and
shout out to Drew
and Mo. Great,
absolutely great. Not only a great experience there. Obviously, everybody that listens to the show, you've heard Drew on Play for Keeps. You've heard him on First Responders. Very big RNC veteran here.
Mark comes in. I say, okay, Mark's here. And he comes in and say, I got something for you guys. He takes out this bag, this little plastic bag. No, it's a brown bag. Where was it from? GoPuff?
No, it's from Bevmo. Shout out to Bevmo, man. We don't have Bevmos. And if we have Bevmos in South Florida, I haven't seen them.
It's a lot of niggas dead if y'all had a Bevmo, all right? It's a lot of things getting robbed. Y'all treating this shit like Vice City stick-ups. If it was a Bevmo.
I mean, we got Total Wines. There's Total Wines around here. Not the most Total Wines that I've seen, but Bevmo seems to be a pretty big thing out here.
Niggas ain't getting lit off Total Wines, man.
They are.
No, they're not.
Total Wines are pretty big.
Bevmo, you've been in Bevmo. That's all I'm going to say. So you walk in. He pulls out Don Julio. Now, let me tell you right now. My wife is Mexican. Drew's girlfriend, Mo, is Mexican.
Didn't know this beforehand.
As soon as I saw this, I said, fuck. Mark is a fucking idiot. He brought tequila in a house with Latinas. So
to be fair, let's talk housewarming etiquette.
Bring wine. Don't bring Hennessy.
Is that the number one? It wasn't Hennessy. See the different degrees
Hennessy,
that we go to?
Don Julio is Mexican Hennessy.
No, that's debatable.
That's not debatable.
That's debatable.
That's not debatable. I will call her right now.
Anybody listening that's Latino or Latina, is tequila your Hennessy? I don't think so. I think me pulling up to a housewarming with Hennessy is extremely wild. Like, that would get the side eye. Because for one, why are we still drinking Hennessy in 2020?
I said it's comparative. It was comparative. It was a hypothetical. I said you bring wine, not Hennessy. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's comparative. That's not. I didn't say you brought Hennessy. Okay.
So is that the number one housewarming etiquette?
Bring wine. Bring something that's. Everyone who's listening to this is like Don Julio. They said, oh no. Everyone said that. They said, oh no. I promise you, everyone said that because I'm sitting back in the chair. You know, I don't drink. I'm sitting back and I'm just seeing one shot and Mark taking a shot. There was shots that you wasn't even involved in, Mark. The day was taken. I said, there's 2 shots. There's 3 shots. There's 4 shots. 6, 7. I said, bro, y'all don't got to deal with her when I go home. And Mark, you don't got to deal with Mo when you go home. So you brought basically the chaos theory into the house.
Was Drew upset? I don't think Drew was like, this just set off the night.
We haven't asked. We actually haven't asked. We should probably ask. We should ask, but I could tell you my experience wasn't nice. Because when my wife just talks when it's drunk time, she just talks and talks and talks. And you know how she is because she's gotten you drunk before. You know how
I gotta stop playing that. I gotta stop playing that game with her because I knew the day after the wedding, I knew I should not play this game because she is going to drink me under the table every single time. And I could hold my own, not that level. And I need to learn. And I haven't learned. So clearly, yes, there's a part of this that's on me.
Yeah, you knew that. And I said,
But
what's the first thing I said, Mark? I said, Mark, why did you bring Don Julio in here? And you was just like, what'd I do? True or false? That's the first thing I said, right?
but
I didn't even say hi. I didn't even say hi to you.
See how niggas be? Don't even say hi. Just get ready for the what the fuck is that?
Yeah, because I know you are steering everyone else astray.
No, okay. That was not my intent. I'll be completely transparent here. The reason that my first mindset in a housewarming etiquette is not wine is because I'm not the biggest wine connoisseur.
Hard fucking call somebody
and ask what's the best wine to get at a housewarming. I could have done that.
Bring some red. They fuck with the red. Bring some penis grigio.
Is that the red? Is that the red dance?
Yeah. Bring some Pinot penis grigio. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to take my wife home. Do you know when my wife went to sleep? For the night, by the way. For the night. Okay? We got home at 7:10. She said, I'll be back. Like, all right. I look up, 7:55. I go in the room. The room is dark. There's no light on. She's laid over the bed like this.
Not the frame. She's not laid over the frame. No way. She's laid over the frame.
Remember when Big Boss Man got hung in the Hell in a Cell? That's what she looked like.
Don't do her like that. She did not like this.
Slept for 12 hours. She was done. She was cooked. And that's all because of you.
Okay, for one.
What?
I'm just going to say, the Don Julio was not meant to be drank.
In a day.
Well, not in a day, but that day.
Be clear.
That was supposed to be a nice...
Niggas had cut water. Niggas had wine. Niggas had all types of things there. You added to it. Because the thing is, it wasn't just shots. It was all of that other shit. And I was just like, you know what happened? They looked past the wine at that point. They said, oh, we got something better. See, if it was just wine, Mark, they would have just stuck to the wine. They would have been a little buzz.
It would have been a calm day.
But my wife would have been up at 8 o'clock. We would have been watching baddies. I had to wait a whole day to watch baddies. You know, I couldn't go online. I couldn't even go on the internet. I didn't want to see anything.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
You had to avoid baddies.
I had to avoid baddies. You're fucking my life up at this point.
It was only a day. What's wrong with a day?
Fucking frustrating, bro. Fucking
happiness is only a day away. But it wasn't supposed to be. The tequila was supposed to be a nice special bottle. You put in your little. You put in your section of your host liquor, and if anybody comes by, pop open the good shit. Pop open some Don.
Good amount, right? A good amount.
It was not supposed to be drank that day.
Good amount.
So when
they drank a good amount.
But the idea came out. It was like, damn, we're running out of wine. Oh, don't worry, we got the Don. I was like,
when I hit the table, I was like, when I hit the table, it was. You know that TikTok where it was like, black people, and they say, no. When that came out, that TikTok sound played in my head. Black people, no. Like that was what I was going through at that moment, and I couldn't say nothing because at that point it was gone. It was a figment, and you just taking shots. She took a shot on the way out, and I said, Jessica, why'd you take a shot on the way out? She's stumbling.
Y'all know how I knew it was bad? We literally just poured up the third shot. And I was like, ugh, cool. But that, it was a nice little taste. And I'm literally seeing the fourth shot being poured. And I'm like, oh, come on. We don't got to do this. We don't got to do these back to back.
She said that she saw 4 of Drew's girlfriends. She just saw 4 of them. I said,
4? So she didn't say it. Thank God she didn't say it in real time.
I blame you.
It's not my fault.
That's all I'm saying. I blame you.
But it's not my fault. It was meant to be a nice. You could have popped that open for Memorial Day weekend. You could have popped that open today.
Just for further notice. Okay, we're gonna have a housewarming. Okay, don't bring no Don Julio. Bring some wine.
Okay, so I'm gonna Can I bring champagne?
Sure. Champagne works. Don't bring tequila. That is kryptonite.
Okay.
That is
I'll
kryptonite.
get a nice bottle of champagne. I doubt. Have I even seen any? Have I even seen any of us drink champagne?
She had you vomiting the weekend of my wedding. The weekend of my wedding.
No, I vomited by myself.
No, I'm
Just
saying.
Ain't do that.
But the day after, had you fucked up again. But you know what? It technically was her fault. It was her fault because it was open bar. Technically, it was her fault because it was open bar. So she did contribute to that.
Well, I know exactly what set it off on the actual wedding day. It was the shot of 1738 plus a little bit of the gas.
Oh, you was on the Fetty Wap. All right. Well, that's Mark, y'all. The bad decision maker all around.
Oh, not 1738. 8732. Shout out to Jeezy. It's bad, man. That's how I knew that's how I knew it was going bad.
New iPad is out.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you got it. I already know. I didn't have to ask. You got. Where is it? I know it's beside you.
It's right here.
Yep. New iPad. You let me fuck around with it. I didn't even open an app because I said, you know what? It's an iPad. So it's an iPad Pro.
Well, I think for the most part, yeah. I mean, you already have what is it? You have the M2?
What do I have?
M1?
Yeah, I got an M1.
For the most part, I would say if you already got an M chip in your iPad,
I don't even know where mine is. I think it's behind me. I don't even know where mine is. Okay.
Dang, you got your shit collecting dust?
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah, you know why?
Niggas talk about me.
I got a Steam Deck that I'm fucking with. I got all type of shit that I'm fucking with right now. iPad's in the least of my worries.
Well, I mean, I'm a very big component and
proponent.
That's why I said a couple minutes.
You're a proponent.
Excuse me. A very big proponent. Jesus Christ, can't talk. As I just said, shout out to Jeezy. I am a very big proponent of we ain't tripping. We'll swap it out. And I swapped out a couple things for this iPad Pro.
Your Apple Watch. What, you gonna get a Rolex now?
I don't know what I'm gonna get actually. My wrist has felt naked now that I don't have an Apple Watch.
Get a Tag Heuer. A Tag Heuer watch.
A Tag Heuer?
Yeah, get a real watch.
I've heard of those before.
Yeah, get a real watch.
The NBA could look out for me. I've spoken of NBA. I'll get a Tissot.
Yeah. Ask Joshua who his Rolex dealer is. I know you a rich name.
No, I don't know if I'm that. You want me to hold up my rollie with my wrist like this?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm at that level yet. I gotta crawl before I walk.
Good amount. It's a good amount of cap. What you saying? I'm gonna do your ism until you don't want to do it no more.
What are you talking about? How's that cap?
Good amount.
You can't go from Apple Watch to
Here's
Rolex.
the thing. Apple is not moving me. And I'm scared.
That's fair. What are you scared about? That you think in time we're gonna go to the other side?
Yeah, that I'm done. iMessage is coming to everything.
Yep. So it's not like going to be too far.
Yeah.
It's not going to be sending us grainy images.
Yeah,
very soon.
It's coming to everything. So I mean, what's the Pixel? I'm like, what the Pixel looking like? You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I'm really feeling right now.
If I did not have an iPhone, I would have a Pixel, but I don't. I'm staying with the iPhone just because, I just think it's the more. I just think it fits my lifestyle a little bit better than other phones. But Pixels are good.
We're in the ecosystem. I think that's what it is. If I was to leave tomorrow, I'm losing my cloud. I'm losing everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm losing my pictures, all of that.
We'd have to be heavy Google heads now if we went Pixel, which isn't the worst thing in the world. I mean, we already pay Google Drive with everything that we do with the BlkPrint.
Yeah.
Gmail is very easy. Google Photos is great.
But what do you, as someone who is becoming disenfranchised with Apple, what could you tell me to keep my faith in this company right now?
Faith in Apple. What can I tell you? Well, I mean, I don't know.
And tell me without saying good amount.
That might be difficult. Let's try it. Okay, so
this is practice for me and her parents. So say all of it without saying
this
good
is practice.
amount. Yeah.
Okay. I think for the most part, tech is. That's another ism. For the most part,
it definitely is. So no, without saying for the most part and good amount, tell me.
Tech is going to be at a ceiling for a good couple of years until they figure out.
You just did it. You basically did it.
I did?
Yeah, because you said a good. You still.
Oh, it wasn't a mount though.
But it's still a good. It's always a good.
All right, so I got to redo it? Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to hear a good nothing.
Okay, hold on. Let's try it again. This is tough.
Yes.
I have too many isms.
Yes.
Okay. I still think that tech is at a ceiling, and it's not going to pass through that ceiling until Apple or whoever it is, it could be any other company, figures out what we're going to do with the public perception of AI. I think.
There we go.
There's a lot of people that are still scared.
There we go. Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people that are still fearful of this. I don't know how you kind of talk them out of this. Unfortunately for you, the big case this year is going to be, and what's today? We're heading into June in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Worldwide Developers Conference is going to be around this time. Obviously, this is coming out on Memorial Day for all the listeners, but I think next week is going to be the Developers Conference where they pretty much preview iOS 18 for everybody. And AI is going to be the heavy is selling factor.
Heavy's another ism, but I'm going to let you have that. Go ahead.
Okay.
No, okay.
Heavy's not bad, though.
Okay, it wasn't bad. Here. I gave your props.
Heavy's not bad.
I gave you a problem. Here's the thing, because people notice. I think having little drills is good because you can't have. You got to keep a good amount, and you got to keep for the most part.
You see how easy it is?
No.
You just said it.
Yeah, because I was saying an example. You have to keep a good amount out of. I was saying like you have to keep a good amount out of your conversation.
But it's natural. What's natural?
Let me not give you any more.
Doesn't it feel good?
Let me not give you any more things for you to overthink before you meet this girl's parents and family on the next couple of days.
But yes, to make you feel better about the next couple of years, tablets.
I'm good.
From what I've seen in these past days of reviews,
I think I'm good on tablets. I think this one is probably gonna be my last one.
You could probably wait until the year that Apple actually says, "Okay, guys,
the MacBook's over. The MacBook's
Mac
over.
OS, on an iPad."
Yep.
And that's what everybody's waiting for. And there are also people that are like, "Well, you're never going to get that because when you do that, laptops are done. Who's going to want to go to a laptop if an iPad can boot Mac OS?" And debatable. I don't think everybody wants to grab a tablet plus a Magic Keyboard plus dongles plus everything else that you would need to make a laptop a computer. We're getting close, but I don't think there's going to be a time in the near future where laptops are just obsolete. Great side piece to laptops, though. But if you're not really that big in tablets, if you don't really need it, you don't need it. Phones, I look at this and say, how much more do I want out of a phone?
Exactly. I don't know what more. Like, I've had a 13 for my fucking case is all fucked up, banged up. I've had a 13 for what, 4 years now? 4 years now.
Is that still your 13?
Yes.
You never did 15?
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you on contract with it?
Mm-hmm.
So in the next couple months, it's been 3 years, you're gonna pay it off.
I know, but I'm like, do I just get a new phone or do I leave? That's where I'm at. I'm on LeBron time right now, bro. Like I'm on LeBron timing right now.
I'm going to say the 16 Pro doesn't have anything that's too extensive outside of the 15,
it's
which is
faster.
Why even I want to stay with my 15.
Yeah, it is faster. Like this phone's pretty fucking fast too.
The only thing that I would want new phone wise, I think 2024 has been the year that I'm ready for the Max phone. Like I tried to stay away for a couple of years and I was like, I don't need that much real estate.
This a Pro Max? I got big hands though. But this a Pro Max? I only do Pro Max. We don't do nothing less.
And I tried to fight that and I was like, who needs a Max? That's going to be gigantic in my pockets. I could just hold a Pro like this and it's great. But now I'm looking at Maxes and I'm just like, this is great real estate. Obviously you can't take this out and just fuck around. When I had the iPad mini, which is now traded in for this, I could have had that out and it could have been a little bit cool to have a a tablet outside, but I don't want to bring a tablet outside. This is what complements my MacBook. Do good work on that. And then this ends up being my phone, but I think this phone has just way
but my faith
less real estate.
My faith in this is, do you think the 16 is gonna be enough for me to be like, okay, I'm gonna get a 16, or am I gonna keep this 13 for one more year?
From a 13 to a 16, maybe.
Because I don't have the island. What is it? The little top island?
Dynamic island?
Yeah, I don't have that.
Do you like that?
I don't know what it does.
It's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not the biggest thing in the world. You're gonna have also this side button, and you can pretty much program it to do whatever you want with it. If you want to press one button and open up your photos, press one button, open up your camera.
What you use the button for? What you use the button for?
I do it for some nerdy shit. I don't know if you're gonna do it for some nerdy shit. What I do with it was when I press the button, I pretty much, it's like the Spotify button where you can go private. Apple Music has it, but you got to go through hoops and hurdles to put it on. So I put the button to do that.
I don't even want to hear nothing about Apple Music. That's not a reason to get these phones anymore.
Well, I think stock apps. Well, Apple has also changed the phones for the most part to get away from, hey, use our stock apps or else. Like you could pretty much program anything you want. Here's the thing: stock something.
They can't do that no more. Apple was getting in trouble because they were trying to do that. So don't bury the lead.
Yeah, the EU's banging their hand and telling them don't do it.
Yeah,
but they did it.
Yeah, exactly.
But they did it.
You try to make it seem like they don't really do it. Yeah, because
I'm not saying it's a moral decision by Apple to be like, well, guys, let's open it up and make it fair for everybody. No, they got told they can't do it.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Well,
they did it.
That's all I'm saying. Speaking
what
of
else?
Apple
What
Music,
else is in the What else is in the ecosystem? HomePods. You were never a HomePod guy.
Why would you're not even one? So like,
I know. I'm very Sonos.
This
Sonos right here.
This is probably my last MacBook. Be real. Probably gonna be my last one for a minute.
Really?
Yeah.
So where are you gonna go laptop? Are you just gonna do no laptop and just stick with your PC? Which is a good decision.
How much do I use I use my laptop in my fucking office. I don't even really. I'm 3-screen.
But you're not. But you're gonna stay away from MacBook, is what you're saying.
If I travel, I take my iPad. That's when I take my iPads on travel.
So your iPad is your laptop. That's interesting.
Yeah, I take it for travel. I take it to watch TV. Like what the fuck? I'm bringing this heavy ass laptop. Well, it's not heavy, but like, what am I bringing that for? That's why I'm like.
Do you ever feel a limit when you bring your iPad out?
No. What do I do on my laptop anymore? If I even wanted to edit something, I could still do that on here. Just use files and then get an app for it. You know what I mean? Like it's not tough to do. I just. I got to really travel to use that shit. And if I'm traveling, I'm not playing games. That's another thing. I don't play games on my phone. So like Apple need to stop trying to sell me that shit.
Yeah, I'm not an Apple Arcade guy. I'm never playing 2K on my phone. I'm not doing that. I am interested in emulation on this iPad though.
Oh, emulation might be trying to play Super Mario on a touchscreen? You're fucking smoking dope.
No, I'll map my controller to it. Controller got Bluetooth.
You got a PC.
I mean, when I'm out. I'm not gonna just do it here. I'm not gonna do it here. Why would I?
If you out, Mark, your attention ain't gonna be on.
It could. You never know what I'm out doing.
These niggas got you. All right. Speaking of Apple Music, the top 100 list came out.
100 best albums.
Listen, I don't want to argue too much about this. All I'm saying is that I want to. Well, your thoughts. Your thoughts on it?
I think generally the internet is slowly getting away from lists, which I guess depending on which side of it you are, you can either just
everything's so
take it lightly for what it comes.
Everything's so subjective now that I think that lists like this are like very like you're very transparent in what they're for because like they know that no one's going to like the top 10. I don't see anyone that likes this top 10. I don't even see anybody that's like attempting to say like I get it in this top 10 because there's so much omitted. But I think that they knew that this was about conversation, but also the world that we live in right now, Mark, is like it's so tough to have a consensus on anything anyway.
And that was what they sold it on, right? I remember listening to it when it was at like the top 100, like 100 through 90, and that I could tell that their mindset was, hey, the reason that we're different from the Rolling Stone 500 is because with Rolling Stone you got to read, and at Apple Music we're telling you what's happening. You can just click a button, you can listen, and it's more interactive that way. And I was like, oh, that's a interesting take. But from 100 to 90, there was already a very early problem with album placement. We started going through the 10 days of the list, ended up getting a surprising amount of interaction. Here was what scared me. I was like, what? Not even scared, but surprised me to a way that I was like, wow, this is the first time that I think Apple Music has ever given a shit about editorial like this. Yeah. Usually this is Spotify's bag where they're like, hey, we got a list. Enjoy it. What do you think? And people will be like, oh, boo, or they'll like it. But Spotify does it very frequent. And this is Apple Music's first time to be like, hey, let's just fuck around with editorial and see how this ends up going, which surprised me.
I think this probably did a lot better for them than they probably expected. I'll say that.
It was, and I hope they do more of it.
Here's my thing. It doesn't feel authentic to me that they did this. I think that for years, Apple has said we're gonna buy out the top of the top of influencers and people who have a voice in the space. So they bought the top of the top, right? You can't say that a lot of these people like kind of represent your listening taste, like the people who host the Rap Life or Zane Lowe or anybody like that. These are people that are like, they're respected, but it's like, who are they respected to? What's the age? What's the demo of this? Like it doesn't feel wholly authentic to like when you're saying we asked tastemakers and all this shit like this. Like, okay, so who was it that you asked? Like, was it? And it's gonna sound fucked up. It's gonna sound crazy. Like people are like they're gonna say like, well, did they ask fucking Kai Cenat? What was his tops? What did they ask? It like it seems very curated to a point where it was like, and I'm not saying they should. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying that it feels like it's like we got the best of the best. And it's like, nah, I mean, like there's not really the best of the best. There's voices that weren't heard in this process that I felt like would have been cool to hear from. Like it would have been cool for them to call Justin Charity from The Ringer. It would have been cool for them to, you know what I mean? Like it would have been cool for them to call maybe Van Lathan, maybe some other people, you know what I'm saying? People that were just not, you know, those people that just work at Apple and get paid by Apple. It just didn't feel authentic to me, the top 100.
And that was their explanation after the top 10 ended up going so bad. Because I think for the most part, people were like passively, for the most part, people were passively watching. People were passively watching until the top 10. And the top 10 obviously is when I think everybody just starts paying attention. Like, okay, what the hell are these niggas talking about? We did not know the other 90, but let's at least see what you think about for the 10. And they said, hey, this is not just, 40-year-old me. This is not 50-year-old me, Zane Lowe, and a couple of other old heads doing a list. We actually asked some youthful people, and that's what made some of the younger albums in this list appear. And I mean, that's great to a certain case, but there are certain positions, there are certain albums that are on here that are very questionable. Positions that are for the most part inexcusable.
Like who? Billie Eilish in the top 30. What was it? Blonde in the top 10. Do people like actually feel like Blonde is like a top 10 album of all time? Do people feel like Good Kid, Mad City is is the best rap album of all time? Because obviously,
yes.
Number one was Lauryn Hill. So people do people our age feel like that Lauryn Hill's album is the best album of all time?
That ended up being a tough talking point, because I think there are people that don't consider Lauryn Hill's Miseducation a rap album first and foremost. So that was the first part that came to it. There was the position of it being better than Thriller that I think ended up being debated a lot more.
How
and not necessarily say that.
And how is it better than Thriller, which has it's Diamond twice, right? Like it's Diamond
like three times.
Yeah, two or three times. Biggest songs ever made on the album, multiple times over. I hate lists because I feel like there are things that can supersede or be better than like older things. Like I'm not exactly beholden to things, but I think that when you say well, this is better than the BlkPrint, which was the second, third rap album like of all time according to their rankings. I'm just speaking for rap. I'm not speaking for anything else.
Yeah.
I think that's it. That's kind of has me scratching my head. It's just like, okay, well, like, what's the criteria here that puts Lauren and Kendrick above everybody else? Above Jay, above Nas, even above. That's when the inauthenticity comes in, where it's just like, well, who made that decision ultimately? Because there are rap albums that are better than Good Kid, Mad City. I'm sorry, they just are.
And you know, it's funny. The big joker that was within all of this is that for a large majority of the artists, you only get one album. So your magnum opus has to really be your magnum opus. Outside of who did end up being Radiohead, Beyonce, Prince, Stevie Wonder, and the Beatles. The only artists that got 2 albums, which you can feel that way. I would feel a little bit cheapened if both Good Kid, Mad City and To Pimp a Butterfly ended up being within the top 20 or so albums. But if you really wanted to look at it from a rap case, and if you list Lauryn Hill as a rap album, cool. If you want to list it as an R&B album, that's great too. But rap-wise, you have Lauryn Hill, which is better than Good Kid, Mad City, which is better than the BlkPrint. BlkPrint's better than the Chronic. Chronic's better than My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which is better than Low End Theory, which is better than Ready to Die, which is better than It Takes a Nation, which is better than Enter the Wu-Tang, better than Illmatic, Aquemini, Take Care, which is better than Paul's Boutique, which is better than All Eyes on Me.
Exactly. What's the criteria? What's the criteria? Some of those albums needed to be higher. Some of these albums needed to be lower. How is it that is the one time capsule from that period that is better than all others? Like be real. Like, how many people are listening to the album today or tomorrow? I listened to BlkPrint a week ago.
Mm-hmm. And even the position of BlkPrint surprised me. I was like, well, for one, I hope there's a Jay-Z album on here. And then it ended up being number 13.
But that'd be the only one. It's crazy, Mark. Like that's the only one. I could see them putting 444 up there. I could see them fucking going back and putting Reasonable Doubt up there. It should have been up there. I'm not trying to like argue it, but it's like there's a lot of stuff there where it's just like, this seems extremely curated to these people, not like anyone else. Like, and again, it's all subjective, but it's just like, who was making these decisions? Like, it's just odd. Like, super odd. Like, not to mention the omissions. You know what I mean? Like, not to mention, you're not even counting what rap became. That's my kind of big thing in this, is that like, someone would think that Good Kid is indicative of what rap was at that time and what it is today. Why could there not be a Lil Wayne album on there to show that the South was really popping? It's all New York artists and West Coast artists and one person from Toronto.
Yeah, I'm looking at the South. You got Astroworld, which is Texas.
Crazy. That's not even. I don't even consider that a rap album.
You got Astroworld, which is Texas.
That might as well be an instrumental album.
You got Tyler, L.A.
West Coast.
Snoop is Long Beach.
West Coast.
You got Get Rich or Die Trying, which is East. You got the Midwest with Eminem. You got Missy, obviously that's Virginia. NWA is on the West. You got De La's New York City. Pac is the West. BC's New York City. You got Drake was in Toronto. The only Southern representation that you have here is Travis Scott, and you have Aquemini.
Bullshit.
That's it.
Bullshit. I call bullshit. No UGK self-titled. No Future. He's a
and if we're talking influence, which is what their big
Lil fucking
was
Lil fucking Wayne, and if it's not him, you put Scarface on there.
And shout out to A Plus and I have been talking about this list pretty much from the inception of it. He was upset not off I think the 80s representation. They did a justice in having 80s representation, but Paul's Boutique and 3 Feet High and Rising over an album like Paid in Full.
Over De La Soul is Dead, which was far more of a bigger deal than that was.
Or if you want to talk influence, how does Run DMC's first debut not make this list. I think that inspired a lot of people to rap. Paul's Boutique is on here, but not Licensed to Ill. Like, there's a lot of ways that you can look at it from a hip hop perspective that does bother you. I think that's going to be a pretty good talking point within this next week of how upset people are at this list. The blonde shit is really interesting to me because not only does it's really shown what people truly think about blonde in these next couple of days, but it's made a blonde versus Channel Orange debate between Frank Ocean fans. It's made an R&B debate between blonde versus other amazing R&B albums. And truthfully, I think Jermaine Dupri's tweet on the representation of R&B on this list might be the most accurate thing that we have seen on this list. And I think we have started to take a look at how people feel about R&B from this height of a music, from a music opinion.
Do Frank Ocean make R&B?
Yes. Yes. Is it the best R&B in the world? That's for people to decide.
That's R&B?
It's R&B.
That's like spoken word singing to me. That ain't R&B.
What does R&B feel like to you in 2024?
Soul?
We've had that
Is there any soul?
Is
there any soul in that shit? Can the nigga sing?
He can sing. It's a much different degree than your traditional R&B singers.
Can he sing?
Frank can sing. I don't think we gotta go.
Ah, man.
I don't think we gotta go completely off the cuff about Frank Ocean, but I do love the honesty of, is this album
the best R&B album
a lot of all time? Is it better than Songs in the Key of Life? No, it is not. I'm sorry. Is it better than Rolling
Is
Stones
it on the
updated?
same fucking level as Thriller, Mark? Is what I'm telling you, bro. Like, no.
No, absolutely not. To me, and apparently to a lot of people.
No, but it's not just to you.
Also,
it's the people that are saying, "What the fuck is this?" After this came out, better than it was higher than Lemonade, right? It was like number 5.
Lemonade was number 10.
Yeah, it was number 5 or some shit. Come on,
yes,
number 5. Fucking real. This list sucks. So what I want to do
better than Songs in the Key of Life is nuts to me. But there are general, real inquiries. If we're talking about influence in music, Meals has talked about this in the chat a lot, and these are two artists that he loves near and dear, and they're appropriate questions. Where is Whitney Houston as far as influence? Where is Mariah Carey as far as influence?
Mm-hmm.
And from that point, you have to start deciding, okay, if we're going to make sure that we're representing Whitney's name and Mariah's name in ways that they 1000% should be, what is the album that we're choosing? And that also creates debate. Do you put Whitney's debut? Do you put the Bodyguard soundtrack? And then Apple Music might be, but we didn't include soundtracks because soundtracks are blah, 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 blah. But this is the biggest soundtrack of all time. It's Double Diamond. It has influenced many careers. I'm sure you could ask any of the artists that you interview regarding these how much the Bodyguard soundtrack meant to them as far as musical creation, which was one of your bigger pieces as to why you chose a lot of these albums. If you ask, what's the Mariah Carey album that you're going to put on this list? There's multiple, at least in my opinion. You can pick Emancipation of Mimi, 2005, that dominated everything. 5 times platinum. That doesn't necessarily mean that anything that's 5 times platinum, multi-platinum should be on the list. But as far as influence, Emancipation of Mimi was huge. If you don't want to pick Emancipation of Mimi, pick Fantasy.
Confessions.
No, not Fantasy.
Confessions ain't on this, is it? Confessions ain't on this, is it?
Confessions is number 95 on this list. I can't think of 90 R&B albums better than Confessions. We did a throwbacks
on this, and we barely had any skips on that album.
Yes.
Confessions is better than Blonde. Can we just put that out there? Confessions is better than Blonde.
And they brought Usher into the studio and be like, "Hey, best albums of all time, you're number 95." I was surprised Usher was like 95. It's hard to hold it down. It's hard to hold it down in certain cases.
It's hard to have any, and again, it's all subjective. But here's what I want to do. I want to pitch this to Josh, and I want to do a BlkPrint 50. I want to do 50 by us. 50 of the greatest albums of all time.
All genres?
All fucking genres.
Do you want to keep the caveat of one album per artist?
That's what we pitch. I guess we talk about that on the show next time. I want to pitch this. I want to pitch this idea. I want to really seriously talk about it, and I want to do it this summer. I want to do a BlkPrint 50, and I want to get the listeners in on it. I want to get our patrons in on it. I want to do I want to do our own list. I want to do our own thing. I think that would be a cool thing to talk about. I think it'd be a cool thing to get because it just shows me. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it's a cool idea. I think it's a cool talking point, but I also think that we can really like get to show people what we really think is the best of the best. You know what I'm saying? Because again, there was a lot of voices that wasn't put out there for this, and I think our voices are pretty important. So I want to do it.
Yeah, and their intent is pure. I think Apple Music's intent to say, yeah, we want to pick the areas and the artists and the albums that are the most influential to artists to create music for decades on and so forth. But I don't think they went the right direction with that. I think if you're talking influence, there are many different artists that weren't represented well on this list.
Their intent was to do what was for them to have us doing what we're doing right now and saying the list is trash. It's all about clicks, baby. There is no intent. There is no purity. This is $1 billion company. So let's just be clear. Like there's no intent other than what they did, and they did it, and that was to get people to click on that fucking little widget you were talking about, to get people to click on them albums. That's what the intent was. That's not pure. That is purely gain. That's not pure. What we doing is pure. That was gain.
I would hate if that's what everything is today.
What? Where have you been? That's what everything's been for the past decade.
Does anybody move with pureness and intent anymore?
Not $1 billion company. What are you talking about?
Okay.
There. Apple has investors. Apple Music is a part of a package of people to get their phones and go on their apps. I bet you their fucking phone impressions or their app impressions were up to the fucking ceiling these past 10 days. It wasn't about giving a fuck about what you think or what I think or what the other man thinks. It was about getting people to click on it. I think that's what everything is. You go online, that's what everything is. Nothing is like pure. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is. I mean, you see all the people who put black people in movies today. You know what I'm saying? That was after Oscar So White. And now that everybody putting niggas in movies. That won't pure. Because if no one said anything, Mark, there wouldn't be no niggas in movies. Somebody had to say something. That's why somebody got to say something about this bullshit ass list, and somebody got to do something about it so they make the better decisions next time and actually go for more voices in the industry, more voices in the culture. I hate that word now after these past month, but more people within this whole community that have a say in something. You know what I'm saying? Like
you're trying to find what the culture feeling.
Yeah, basically. Because I mean, the culture is, you see what they doing right now. The real cultural anthem right now is Nasty from Tinashe, but then people don't want to talk about that. That's a Dina Howard.
That's the Free Like Me for 2024?
Yes, that's the real culture, not no fucking pedophile anthem. Hell is wrong with y'all niggas? Who gonna match my freak?
Is that the? I mean, that is the motto. I think that could be the motto for the summer.
2024 should be who gonna match my freak, bro. It shouldn't be none of that other shit. Who gonna match my freak, bro?
It should be A minor.
No, that shit is corny.
I told y'all boys hop on that NLE. Niggas playing, bro.
Bro, the shit where he was in the bed on stage.
Pure entertainer, man. Come on.
He said, y'all niggas was sleeping on me.
Yeah, niggas.
It's time to wake up. This is what the game is. Thanks, Kendrick. This is what the game is now. Good job, buddy.
Hey, we under a new presidency. I can't wait. Anything for the next 4 years is, hey, hashtag blame the president. I voted.
I'm not voting. For nothing.
You voted. Didn't you remember seeing the tweet? With every stream that you have, you're voting with your kind of bullshit.
You'll be seeing too many. That's your issue, Mark. You be seeing too many tweets, and you be thinking niggas is pure. That's why I'm like, you look at what happened in the past month. You think any of this shit was pure? You think any of these conversations were fucking pure? You think anything? You think any of these people are pure that had anything to do with any of this shit? No. This shit is dead. This shit is dead.
When you say the shit, what is dead?
Hip hop.
Don't Quest love it. You're still gonna tap into rap.
It's dead.
Mixtape Pluto's coming.
How much more can I get? How much more? We got 26 of them things this year. How much more can I get? How much more do I need?
Well, I don't think there's gonna be disses on this one, so it might be a little bit better.
He wasn't dissing on the second one. So I mean, how much more?
Other niggas.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like how much more can we get? I might be futured out too. I listen to things that we don't trust you and we still don't trust you, and I say, damn, this shit's riding, he's sliding, because they want the stigma of bullshit on them. Mm-hmm. There's a stench on them, Mark. You feel me? There's a stench on those two albums to me. I don't even really listen to him like that. And I'm a fucking huge Future fan, bro. I don't even listen to him like that. I never would have thought in my fucking life that I would have been like, let me play BlkPrint too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have never thought of that.
Well, I'm sure it's going to get him a lot of love in February. So, shout out to that.
It don't matter until it do.
Think about
it. Remember, it didn't matter this year.
Awards.
When Killer Mike won, Mark, when Killer Mike won this year, this shit is bullshit. Remember? They ain't matter.
We don't need the awards. We need our own awards.
Yeah, is it cap?
Until
niggas ain't fuck with it. Who the fuck listened to the goddamn Killer Mike, nigga? Bullshit ass award.
Niggas said we got to bring back the Source Awards. We got to get our own shit back.
Hey,
until it matters.
It don't matter till it do.
Now we're lining up with suits.
Yeah,
February 25.
It don't matter till it do. Here's the thing. I stand on it. I'm still not watching that bullshit. I don't care.
The Grammys?
I don't give a fuck. I've never given a fuck about the Grammys. You know this.
I still tapping. There's a lot of the internet that was like, fuck the Grammys, fuck the Grammys, fuck the Grammys, that are now going to be tuned in February 25, which, ironic, but, it's where we are.
Anyway, it's corny. Well, one more thing before we get out of here. GTA 6. We ready for it. You see they said that it's coming out next fall.
I got to make sure I stay alive.
You really do. You really do.
September 25? A year and 4 months? I can stay alive.
Can you not say a good amount or any of your isms?
Did I say it?
Till then? Can you not say it until then? Until GTA 6 comes out?
For a year and 3 months?
That's what they saying. It could be longer. It could get pushed back. So until GTA 6 come back, could you kill 2 isms?
Just 2 isms?
Yeah, just 2.
Which are the 2 isms?
I think it should be a good amount, and I think it should be heavy.
Heavy's not as difficult as a good amount.
You can come up with other words that are not good amount.
I mean, I can, but do I want to, is the question.
It's just a little gentlemanly bet.
What's the bet?
Listen, man, when GTA 6 come out, I gotta be your doja. I gotta be your weed man.
A weed man?
Yeah.
I'm about to say, you got my first shark card?
I got your first. I got your first shark card. I got your first shark card.
And if I can't do it for a year and 3 months, then what?
Let me think of your punishment. Here's the thing: you can't just win, and I don't have nothing if I win.
I mean, hey, if I do it, I do it.
I might need you to like eat some super hot wings or some shit, or I might need you to do something Don Julio related or something. I don't know. We're gonna figure that out. Let me think about it before we shake on it. So enjoy your isms until then. But trust me, it will. When does this begin? Whenever I figure out what the other way is. So you know what? I'm gonna speak with Josh. I'm gonna confer with him. And we're gonna come up with the best outcome for everybody, for you, for that. But yeah, I got your first shark cards on us.
And for BlkPrint 50.
Let's just say this on us, and on us. The first shark card is on us.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep, that's right. And you get to shoot me in the head first day. Online. I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna put my hands up, bruh. And you know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna say, "No, officer, no," before you do it.
What? No, officer, no. I'm gonna be like 50 miles away with a sniper on like a hill.
Well, hey, do what you got to do.
I'm gonna line it up. I'm gonna just ease it in.
Pause. Whoa.
Yeah, that's a little wild. That's a little wild. But I'm gonna line it up.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go 3, 2, 1. Actually, no, I'm not going 3, 2, 1 it.
Well, make sure Cyrus not beside you. Make sure Cyrus not beside you because he might be on
Cyrus gonna fuck around and knock me off the hill.
He might be on another building. He might be on another building.
And try to snipe me. Cyrus would do some bullshit like that.
Well, listen, we're gonna figure that out. But thank you guys for listening to Overly Conversating with myself and Mark. We're gonna have another episode. We gotta figure out the episode of BlkPrint when that's gonna come out because I'm gonna be out of town next weekend. So we're gonna figure that part out. We gotta figure out throwbacks as well. But we're gonna get back to you guys on that info. So thank you guys for listening, and until next time, thank you. Do you guys want to do they want another Meet the Davises? My wife asked me about that.
Yes, by all means they do.
All right. Well, maybe we'll talk about the Don Julio.
That's another ism, by all means. Damn.
Yeah, by all means. You got to figure out which two. We got to figure out which two.
You already told me the two.
What was it? Heavy and you said no to heavy.
Heavy and good amount.
Heavy and good amount. Good amount's gonna be good for me because I'm tired of hearing good amount. Good amount's gonna be good for me.
Okay.
Yeah, good amount's gonna be real good because I'm tired of hearing it.
I don't think I use that much.
Yeah, you use it a lot.
Heavy
and Joker, big Joker. That's another one.
Big Joker. I just thought of the other day.
No, you've been using it for years. You've been using it for years. You know when
Big Joker.
You know what? Someone's gonna text you or is gonna text us or gonna leave us a comment saying, "Oh no, Mark, you say Big Joker all the time."
I was not using Big Joker on RSPN. Was I?
Yes, you were. Anyway, we're going to figure this out. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you guys on the next episode of Overly Conversating. Until next time, y'all. Peace.